Hey family, I wanted to come in and talk about a couple of things, but I hope you guys' Sunday is going very well. I hope it was relaxing. I hope church was great for you. So I wanted to dive in and talk about exalting oneself to put yourself higher and the dangers of that and why we should not do that. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and open up with the scripture, which is what we're going to be tying everything with. But let's start in the beginning. Remember Lucifer. Lucifer had everything in heaven, right? He was over the music. He was a beautiful angel, but that was not enough for him. He was very prideful. He was very arrogant, right? He wanted more than what he had, and that's another danger as well that we're gonna have to do a video on, is when you're not content. That does open the door for Satan, the spirit of Satan, to get in and to do things as well. So I'm going to be reading Isaiah 14 starting off at 12. And for my ladies, this is a women's study Bible. It's a gorgeous Bible. I got it on Amazon. If you are needing a Bible, this is a gorgeous one to get. It's just beautiful, and it has so much knowledge, and it breaks down things. So I'm going to be reading out of this, okay? So Isaiah 12. Put this up. I'm sorry I'm holding my phone, guys, because my ring light, it's something happened. Okay, so Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Did you hear what Satan said? He said that he will exalt his throne above the stars of God. That's how dangerous pride it can get you. Do you know how one prideful someone has to be to actually think that they can exalt themselves above God, to think that they can go above the Creator? But that's what that spirit of Satan had him thinking, that he can be better, and he wanted to exalt himself, guys. And that's dangerous. That is telling God that he is beneath when he is above. He's the Creator. He is the one and only true God. And so that's why it's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Well, we know what happened to Lucifer. Lucifer got booted out, right? Lucifer got booted out, became Satan, and that's how that happened, because he wanted to exalt himself. Guys, so it's dangerous. You see the consequences of exalting yourself. You get booted out. God says, no, you can't reside where I'm at, because you are not wanting to be on my side. You're wanting to go above, right? And there's so many people who have killed and murdered over competition, jealousy, being prideful, ego. That people in the church volunteer to do something in the church, right? It can be they volunteer to take down decorations, put some new decorations up, whatever the case may be, and then you did that with the intentions of wanting to get shouted out by the pastor. So next Sunday come and he didn't shout you out. He gave an overall thank you, and we got people who will start coming to church because of that. Why they didn't call me out, why they didn't, all this offense and all this ego, doing things for the wrong reasons, doing things because you want to be called out on it, you want to get praise. You know what I'm saying? So it's dangerous. I want to go ahead and read 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God, the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalteth itself again against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So we see that he says do not exalt, or we see where he says to cast down anything rather that exalts itself. Why? Because anytime you are feeding in thoughts that exalt yourself or exalt itself over the knowledge of Christ, you're in the danger zone. Why? Because you're now acting like Satan. You're now acting like the father of lies now. That's why he says not to do that, to cast down anything that exalts the knowledge of Christ. Because once you are entertaining thoughts that are exalting the knowledge of Christ, you have went into a strange land, okay? You have crossed the line over to now you're having characteristics and thinking thoughts of Satan. You do not sit there and entertain any thoughts that is going to exalt itself over the Christ, over the knowledge, right? So that is very important, guys. But I want to just come here and talk about that. And I love you guys, and take care.